Hey guys, every Wednesday night at 9 p.m., you guys can go over to ajoum.podbean.com to download the most recent episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind. And I am happy to announce that people from over 15 countries have done just that several thousands of times. I am so proud of the success this show has had currently, and I look forward to the future that is so bright. Ooh, I got to wear shades. And if you are a business out there right now looking and entering a sponsorship situation, look no further than Orsini's Uncensored Mind. I've got a ton of fans who are looking to hear all about your service. All you need to do is reach out to me. Send me a message on social media or email me at ajorsini96host@gmail.com, and let's get this buddy system working. I'm here to work for you, and let's make this happen. Warning. The following episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind contains explicit language and adult content. The thoughts and opinions stated on the show are reflective of AJ Orsini and his guests exclusively. But seriously, guys, the show's called Uncensored. If you got a problem with bad language, I really don't give a shit.
Welcome to Orsini's Uncensored Mind, and now your host, AJ Orsini.
How the hell is everybody out there? This is your boy, your main man, your Job's old brother from another mother. This is your host, AJ Orsini, and we are here. I am once again bequeathing onto all of you episode 67. 67 here with another episode, and we have much to discuss. I know I say that every week. We have much to discuss, but I am not alone. Not tonight, anyway. The last few weeks, I have been dolo here on the show, and I said to you guys that as soon as I got an opportunity to bring a guest on the show, I would. And this individual has been on the show before. He actually attended the last roundtable, I believe. This is Mr. Polgreen, Mr. Alexander Polgreen, good friend of mine, fan for a long-time fan. Am I right? Long-time fan. Welcome back to the show, Mr. Polgreen.
Thank you for having me.
I needed a friend. That's what the situation is. You've heard the show yourself. You're an avid listener, of course.
Yes.
And I've had a tough go the last few weeks. I have had a tough go at it. But I tell you this, I made the phone call. I needed a friend. And who else responded to the bat signal than the man himself, Mr. Polgreen, returning the best man favor here at the House of O. Now it is now known as the Old House of O.
Yes.
For those of you not following my social media, go fuck yourself. If you want to follow my social media, it's linked below there. And I mentioned on social media that we have made it official. We found a new House of O, different section of Brooklyn that we'll be heading to, but Brooklyn nonetheless. We're going to be heading to a much safer, much more educated, much easier transportation-wise situation for us. Happy to announce that. You, on the other hand, have different emotions because now my apartment is a little further away from a train that is not near you.
No, not necessarily true.
Because you're coming from Jersey, right?
I can still get to.
How do you get to the end from
Fulton Street?
You can catch the end from Fulton Street?
Sir.
Oh, they got yellow lines over there too? Jesus Christ.
Well, the R train is there.
All right, and then you can just do an R to something else that leads to the end. Yeah, okay, there you go. All right, so you still have some capabilities to get over there. We went through the process when we I realized going through this particular apartment process, we were just talking about this. I've been in this neighborhood about 10 years. And the first time that I went looking for an apartment, we tried to stay close to the fucking train stations because we wanted to make it easier for people to come see us. And with the exception of you and maybe 3 other people, no one fucking comes to see us. So this time around, when we went looking for a fucking apartment, we said fuck it, because also the first time we went looking for an apartment, we didn't have a car. This time around, we have a car, we got a kid, the whole shebang. I'm super adult mode right now. And so we just said, fuck it, and we went for the best apartment. So we announced on social media that we're moving, and everybody who is a friend of our family, hit me up at some point, and they asked where I was moving to. When I told them, and they were like, "Damn, bro, that's far." I was like, "Fuck you! The other place was far, apparently, because you never fucking came. You're one of the few people who came. Like, you came the most." Which sounds out of context like a weird statement to make, but you definitely did visit my house the most. You came for pretty much most of the pay-per-views. You're like WCW in reverse, where you like instead of expanding from small pay-per-views to big, you went the other way. You were over my house almost every pay-per-view for a while in the beginning, and then that dwindled down to the big pay-per-views.
Yeah, the big pay-per-views.
And then it became the big four, and now you have a lovely wife.
Yes.
You have a beautiful child on the way.
Yes,
which means I'm not going to see your ass. You came tonight for TLC, which was unplanned, because he came here to do my show, and on the way here, he discovered around the same time I did by notification that TLC. I forgot TLC was even on tonight.
Yeah, completely forgot.
So we're going to talk a little TLC since we just sat through that and it's fresh, and we can get into that. Right away with that, but you have. I'm not going to see you again. You said the Rumble.
Yeah, the Rumble.
And I'm going to WrestleMania, so we're probably not going to see each other then.
I'll see you for the Rumble. I'll see you about 2 weeks before Mania at my baby shower, March 16th.
That's the first I'm hearing of that. Are you breaking news right now? Because I've never
breaking news right now.
Breaking news, March 16th, guys. Apparently, I'm going to Polgreen's baby shower. He's been in my house for 3 hours. He's just telling me now that he has a baby shower on March 16th. Okay, yes, I will definitely be there.
And
I think that's part of my... Is that part of the best man's responsibilities? I think so, right?
Not necessarily, but it's nice.
Oh, because my best man failed. He didn't... I don't even know where he is.
Oh wow.
Actually, no, I'm taking that back because my brother technically was my best man. But the guy who was like really running the wedding and all that stuff, because my brother was underage at the time. My best friend at the time, I don't know where he is. But, yeah, so I'm just going to assume it's part of my responsibilities. I will fucking be there March 16th.
I appreciate it.
Is this taking place in Jersey?
No, sir. Harlem.
Woo! You pulled the strings, brother. For those of you who don't know, this man is a former Harlem native. Born and raised?
Yes.
Harlem? Born and raised. Born and raised Harlem, which means you got the shakedown.
Of course.
That's city issued, right? You have to have the shake if you're going to be from Harlem.
If you live anywhere between 110th and 155th, you better know how to Harlem shake.
Just like those dastardly Harlem Heat boys.
That's right.
And, above 110th Street, brother. Listen, folks, this is the deal. I'm going to be honest with you. I needed a buddy, and my buddy is here. And we talk wrestling all the fucking time. Not just when he's in my house, but we're one of those friends that uses all motives of communication to communicate with each other. We Facebook message each other. We cell phone text. We Instagram each other. We there's another one there I'm forgetting, but there's like 4 or 5 different ways that we've communicated with each other. Sometimes multiple versions in the same day.
Yes,
depending on what we're doing at the moment. And commenting back and forth. But in all facets of communication, we talk wrestling. So we're going to do some of that wrestling talk here today. This is essentially going to be kind of like a dude's hangout type conversation. This is what we're going to do. The usual shit you and I would do sitting on my couches. We're going to do here with some microphone setups here. And we're going to talk the talk. Some of the topic, we're going to have multiple topics on this show because... Because like I said, he's one of my best friends. He's been friends with me since 2009, and he listens to almost every episode of the show. I'm the highlight of his Thursday, as he put it. And every time he listens to the show, he goes, "Dude, I want to go on the show and talk about this. I want to go on the show and talk about that." He brought up a topic to me the other day that I definitely want to talk about, but I also want to hit those other ones. So as the course of the show goes on here, we're gonna be moving around a lot. This is gonna be fluid, bitches. We're moving from subject to subject here. You gotta try to keep up. Charlie Caruso's tits are awesome in that shot. I'm being sidetracked right now. Like I said, we just watched TLC. If you're listening to this on Wednesday, I'm recording this right now directly after TLC. We hit the button, so that means the Edge and Christian show is on, which means Charlie Caruso, the chick with the fattest lips on the planet. I mean, you put dick sucking lips on a picture in the dictionary, and Charlie Caruso's lips are right there. It's an overwritten copy of where Angelina Jolie's lips used to be.
Yes.
Those are the classic, rudimentary, basic, like the vowels, the A-E-I-O-U, dick sucking lips is Angelina Jolie. She's in that.
Yes,
she's in that class. And Charlie Caruso's lips are just right in there. Damn, those lips are good. Look, the doing class. We should just do this. We should just call the Asian Christian Show for the remainder of the fucking show. But we're gonna get right on the topic. We're gonna get right underway here. The topic that we mentioned last was was it last week's episode?
Yeah,
it was last week's episode. I had mentioned a poll that I did with Stone Cold Steve Austin, asking the Squad of O if him staying retired actually helps in his reputation as far as being one of the greatest of all time. And the options were, does staying retired help his GOAT conversation, or is he successful enough to make a return and not have it put a dent, take a hit? He is still going to be one of the greatest of all time. And I had made mention on the show that there was a gentleman who commented who said, wow, I've never really heard Steve's name mentioned in the greatest of all time. You took exception to that.
Yes, I did.
And you shot a promo on me, so I need you to repeat that promo for these fuckheads on the show. What was your comments about that? How did you feel about that?
Well, I mean, whoever that gentleman was, I felt, he wasn't a wrestling fan. He was a fanboy. No,
his name was James Branch. He's not a fanboy. He should know better. That's why I try to take him to task about it.
Stone Cold Steve Austin is definitely, if not top 5, he's top 10 greatest of all times.
Well, I was trying to start that conversation last week because even I had trouble when you're talking about greatest of all time. Everybody has kind of like their own definition of what that could be, and that's what's great about wrestling fans and being in the wrestling business. It's very kind of a case-by-case basis. And based on my definition, which is kind of an all-encompassing definition, I like to incorporate as much into the description as I could. I had a hard time putting him in the top 10. Now, hold on, I'm not saying that he's not. I'm just trying to rationalize it because when you talk about Stone Cold Steve Austin, one of the biggest things you lean on is the popularity. That's like the first thing that pops up. 316, that shit was everywhere. He was on Nash Bridges doing shit.
That's right.
This guy was on TV Guide. Regis and Philbin. Or Regis is Philbin. Hold on. Regis and Kelly.
Yes.
Or Regis and Kathy Lee. I think he went back as far as Regis and Kathy Lee before we had Kelly dominating the morning scene here. He was popular. This guy, you put his name on the marquee, it didn't matter what it was sold out. If you put Stone Cold Steve Austin on a Broadway show, he was not even in it. If you just put his name on the marquee, the fucker would sell out. He was popular. In-ring wise, obviously, he gets a lot of respect from a lot of guys. He was, labeled a mechanic. He was a good worker. Charisma, anything you want to label. Dope entrance, just anything you want to label. He's up there with a lot of guys, but there's a lot of guys you can kind of put above him too, especially when it comes to in-ring, especially when it comes to charisma. It's just you can really have that discussion. He's obviously in your top 10.
He's in my top 10. I mean, my list is different from everybody else's, and might have some people.
I don't know if there's that different. See, that's the beauty of the show. I keep telling people all the time, people feel unique. When, in all actuality, if you just verbalized it, you'd find out you're not really that different from a lot of people. Go ahead and spill your piece, brother. What kind of top 10 are we talking about here?
I'm pretty sure.
You don't have to order it for me, but start giving me some names on this list.
Me and you are pretty close in age. I'm pretty sure we started watching wrestling from when we were in the womb.
Yeah.
So
we were born the same day. We're the same exact age, you fucking idiot.
But you got to remember.
You forgot your own backstory on this show. Follow the gimmick, bro.
I mean, I watch more WCW, so there might be some more WCW guys on my list.
That's fine.
Than
it's
WWE
your list, right?
But, for me, it's like Macho Man. He's a standard on the list. Hogan, Flair.
Macho's your guy, though.
Yeah.
That's probably, would you be safe to say, number one?
Macho to me, he should be number one.
Okay,
Macho's one.
All right, for you, he's number one. Right, okay, so you got Macho in there.
I got Hogan.
Hogan's got to be in there.
Sting.
Right? Sting. Steve is in there.
Steve.
Sting.
Flair.
Okay, so far you're naming all WCW guys, including Steve.
Steamboat.
That's 6 WCW guys. Go ahead.
Taker.
Technically, kind of a cup of coffee is WCW. All right.
Shawn.
Okay, all right. Now, what's the criteria, though? Do you have a pretty set criteria? Because mine's kind of liquid. Like, it's hard for me to be like, oh, I like this guy for this reason, but then I like this guy for another reason.
Well, for me, I go by popularity's in there, match work, promo work.
Okay, those are like your big 3-prong areas there. Okay.
And if I mention your name to a casual fan and they know who you are, that kind of helps, too.
I think that has to be a part of it. If you want to start talking about, like, especially now in this day and age, you would think it's easier for your name to be part of the general pop masses. And yet still, like, there's some guys who's like, well, I'm over. Like, to who? Who are you over with?
Exactly. I mean, I think back in the day it was a lot harder for the guys because you had to be very, very original. You couldn't just walk up.
You had to be like a standout. Yeah,
you couldn't just walk up to WWE and be like, this is me, this is what I do, but I got 4 other guys who do the same thing. What makes you different? Yeah. Nowadays, guys can all do the same things.
Which they generally do.
Come out with the same music, same intro style, but it's like, why should I pick you? But back then, it's like Hulk Hogan had a look. Macho Man had a look. Macho Man had a character. He had a voice, something unique. Ted DiBiase had a voice, had a style, something unique about him that made him him.
Yeah.
You know.
I think people really dug Macho for his presence more than anything else. Because when he walked into the room, he kind of gave this vibe like he could fuck you up. Yeah. He's spitting his rhymes and he's doing his deal, but in all reality, like he's the kind of dude like you look at, he's like, wow, like he will fucking kill you. Yeah. If you crossed him, he would fucking murder you.
Yeah, he looked like one of those guys you don't want to see coming down a dark alley.
No, not at all. Or a lit alley. I wouldn't want to bump into him at 2 p.m.
The madness.
Yeah, the mad. Ooh, yeah. Like his energy was, because it was a bit, contagious there. Macho Man, that was my Macho Man. I don't know why that came out the way that it did, but that's fine. The audio, I'll edit that up. Maybe put in some real Macho audio in there. My criteria for greatest of all time, it does incorporate a lot of that stuff. I definitely like the mainstream appeal to it too. Like you got to have some sort of crossover. Like there's got to be something about it. And I don't mean crossover in the sense of like you need to be on TMZ or some shit, but just like even if your popularity sticks to just the wrestling world, just it's got to be more encompassing to just the one area that you're in. That's why a lot of times when people start telling me where it's like, well, Tanahashi's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And I'm like, yes, but also, does he pass that smell test? He's the ace of New Japan. I get that. But when you put a picture of him in Topeka, Kansas, and you say, hey, I know you're a wrestling fan. Do you know who this guy is? You might get a different reaction than you think. Even if they recognize him, I don't know if they're going to be able to sit there and say, yeah, he's definitely one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. It's all about the circle that you're in.
I agree.
I think the internet, I think social media, all that stuff, I think it makes it more diverse. I think you have an opportunity now more than ever. You can go to New Japan Pro World. You can get their streaming service, Powerbomb TV. I've been pushing recently because I got a bunch of friends on there now. So now I kind of have to I got to sit here and be like, hey guys, check out Powerbomb TV because, you can see Beyond Wrestling and all these different, all the indie companies now. Now we have indie companies with streaming services and YouTube channels that play full shows, and we didn't have that shit before. I had a whole closet full of cassette tapes with little pieces of paper in them so that the thing would fucking record. My mom's still tight to this day that I recorded over her Little Mermaid VHS with a few Raws and SmackDowns. It was a few times. I remember I had to beg my grandparents to buy the pay-per-view, and then I had to go to the store and get like a blank VHS to come in, and it had to be over 3 hours worth because some of those would be like 120 minutes. You had to go get the big fuckers which was like an easy 19, 20 bucks.
Or pray that your VCR had LP, SP, EP mode.
Yes.
So you could extend the
Jesus
tape.
Christ. You know how fucking smart I felt the first time I found out wiring-wise? I remember this is like the most genius I ever felt when I was a kid. I would rent videos from Blockbuster or like Hollywood Video or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I would rent like WrestleMania 10, right? They didn't have the cassette, so I'd bring the cassette home, and I had 2 VCRs. So what happened was is I would have one inputted from the TV to one VCR, and then have that VCR wired to the other VCR. And what happens is I would play WrestleMania on one, but record it
on the other, yeah.
from the other. So I was able to return the WrestleMania back to the store whilst still having my own copy. I felt like the man.
And kids these days don't know.
I felt like the man because I was just like, and people laugh because they're like, man, can you imagine? Because now you could just download them. I was like, you know what's funny though? If you take a slow internet connection and it downloads for the same amount of time in which it took me to record that fucking thing, and I had that thing for fucking ever. And I would have, and VHS tape was like very sketchy.
Yeah.
So like even if you like, because I don't know how many times I would get mad. Like I would go to other people's houses with my tapes, and the VCR would eat it. And I would want to basically burn the entire house down in response because it's like, that's my pride and joy there.
Yeah.
I shipped it all the way over here in my book bag. And I got to go home with a fucking, or I had one situation where like the VCR snapped tape. Oh. So you got to put like the thinnest scotch tape you can possibly find. And then you're like in the middle of a Shamrock match and you just, and you're like, oh, that's where the tape was. That's where the tape was.
Oh, man.
And then it's coming back, right? That's what you used to, yeah. It was like, you ever had the tape where like it stretched thin?
Yeah.
So then by the time they got to the part, everything would just, and they would come back, and then you would just have a regular Raw. So that's the shit that we dealt with. All you fucking people have pinwheels and this little circle that buffers in the middle. Which still frustrates me, but it's not as frustrating as, like, you know, eventually when that clip figures itself out, it's not going to ruin the quality of the fucking video. VHS gets fucked up, it's fucked up. That's it. You're committed to that for life.
I used to hate when you rented a tape and nobody rewinded it, so now you have to sit there for 20 minutes to rewind a 3-hour movie just to watch it from the beginning.
Or the worst, like you rented the DVD, you rented the VHS, right, and they didn't rewind it. And as soon as you put in the tape, the VCR would automatically play. So it's like I just gave the example of WrestleMania 10, right? So you put the VHS in, and you just forget. You know, you pop it in, you think it's gonna sit there, you turn your back, and all of a sudden it goes, like the tape pops on. It's like Bret Hart wins the WWF title. You're like, fuck no, I didn't want to know that yet. Wait a second, stop, rewind. And you're like, oh, you just ruined the whole 3 hours for me, you prick. Oh, you sons of bitches, you were not kind.
No.
You were not kind. You did not rewind, you bitches.
Trolling before trolling.
Yeah, exactly. I rented a Blockbuster video once thinking it was going to be a best of Shawn Michaels VHS, and I put it in, and it was a home video. Like they were filming their kid or whatever, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I brought it back to the fucking store, and they had like a display or whatever. They put it up. And they had no clue that somebody had recorded over the fucking VHS. And they were just like, oh, fuck. Because that made them wonder, oh, shit, how many of these are recorded over? And I'm like, yep, that's the life. See, Hollywood Video fucked up Blockbuster. Because they had the 5-day rental.
Yeah.
That's what fucked the whole game up. Blockbuster's going to look at Netflix now. That ship was sailed already before, man. Hollywood Video with their 5-day little thing, and that's how Hollywood Video used to get me because I'd forget to return it because I knew I had a week, and then it would be 3 weeks. I'm like, ah, shit, I forgot I was supposed to return it.
It's a
and we
shame.
went on a rant about videos, and we're supposed to be talking about something else. All right, look, the greatest of all time. I want to. You already gave me your goats as far as like. Some of your favorite wrestlers here. But I want to go in a different direction with goats. I want to throw some monkey wrenches in your program. I really want to make you think here. We're going to call this some sort of a pop quiz here. Now, there's no right or wrong answer. It's not trivia. This is not trivia. There's no right or wrong answer. But when you start talking about the GOATs, everybody's description is different. We just went over this. And you kind of gave me a listing of some of your favorite performers. But I noticed there were some names not mentioned, and the reason why they weren't mentioned is because they were good for what they did. So let's talk about what they did, okay? Who are some of the GOATs in the tag team division? Who are some of the greatest tag teams of all time? And there's one team you cannot mention. You are not allowed to mention this name in my house. Axe and Smash will not be discussed here. Okay, Demolition is not one of the greatest tag teams of all time.
You know how I feel about that.
Yes, I do. Let's explain. My dear friend here, for the last 10 years, roughly, we've been having this ongoing debate about whether or not Demolition should be in the Hall of Fame. You feel that they should be.
Yes.
I feel there's no need to. And that's the reason why they haven't been put in the Hall of Fame yet. They were used as loser wannabe Legion of Doom members, and as soon as they got LOD, they were kicked to the curb, never to be heard from again. And then the lawsuit. So there's no way they're getting in.
I understand that, but
Plead your case. Go ahead.
My reason for them being in is because all the hot tag teams of the late 80s and early 90s, they beat all the baby faces.
Because they were fed to them because they wanted them to be big like the LOD.
No. They beat the Steiners. They beat the Hart Foundation. They beat the Rockers, the Killer Bees, the British Bulldogs.
The Killer Bees.
The Powers of Pain. They beat all these guys. They were, at the time...
you just put Powers of Pain in there with great tag teams.
At the time, they were the longest reigning tag team champions.
At the time, until they were beaten by a three-man team, which is still... I actually think that might be the one point that still stays in Demolition's corner here, that it took a three-man team to finally beat that record. But come on, man.
And weren't they the first three-man team at one point when they added Crush? I believe they were.
In the WWE?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
I can't, if off the top of my head, I can't really think of another consistent three-man team. That was like an LOD 2000 move where they were trying to bring in that substitute, that young guy coming up. That was nice. Crush eventually went on to be... he passed away, right?
Yeah, Crush passed away.
Yeah, he won future Nation of Domination. Man, he went through a lot of phases. The Hawaiian Crush thing. With
Crush.
Yeah, he did the Nation of Domination thing, the Disciples of Apocalypse gimmick.
Yes.
Then he was Chronic, right?
He was Chronic
deal in WCW. This guy had a lot of fucking modes, man.
Yeah, he was around.
He did around, man. He was getting paid, bro. NWO member?
Yes.
He was an NWO member.
Yes, NWO Black and White.
Hell yeah, Black and White, God damn it. That guy was awesome. We talked about Demolition. We're not going to listen. We beat that horse to death. Who are some of your favorite tag teams? And I know who number one is because I've known you long enough. But Harlem Heat, I know definitely has a special place in your heart.
I was a big Harlem Heat fan.
Obviously, watching WCW in his home in Harlem.
Big Harlem Heat fan.
Big Harlem guy. Must have broke your heart when you found out they were from Houston.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to hear you in the room like those fucking cunts. Because everything, even when they weren't scripted, like even when they weren't on the mic, when they would do their entrances, and like, oh my boys over on 110th Street, you're like, yeah, I felt that shit in my heart.
That's right,
and they're like, I'm really from H-Town. Like, oh,
transplant, you don't count.
Yeah, we got a couple of Texans over in Harlem now, don't we?
Let's see, right?
But what are some other the other tag teams besides these guys?
Because I'm an 80s kid, so, Steiner Brothers were
you're
were
all
big.
old school, I know.
No, there's some new tag teams on there. I appreciated the Steiners,
right?
The Rockers, the Hart Foundation.
Hart Foundation's one of the dopest ever.
Yeah. I mean...
They get forgotten because of Bret's success. Although I did notice Bret was not in your top 10 of GOATs.
No, he was not.
No, he was not.
No.
That's a shame.
Why?
I don't know. No. You're one of the few people that you really don't put him in there. That lack of charisma, I think that really hurt him. Those promos were no good.
That and...
He got better later. Heel Bret was okay, but the 10 years before that was kind of shaky.
Also, timing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But let's see. I like the World's Greatest Tag Team. I like Haas and Benjamin together.
Underappreciated, I think.
They were good.
Underappreciated. I think if they would have had a longer run and higher profile matches. But they were big in what? I'm thinking about the rebrand. No, what was that, 03, 04?
Yeah.
During the SmackDown 6 era when they were like, the fuck up was moving them to Raw. That was the fuck up. If they had stayed on SmackDown, they'd have still been dope.
They would have been good. London and Kendrick were pretty good. I like them as a tag team.
Underappreciated. That tag team would have been dope in 205 Live right now.
Oh, they would be killing it right now.
They would be killing it right now at 205 Live.
Edge and Christian, definitely.
Edge and Christian.
The Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys.
Oh, now you're going down the 90s. You put Too Cool in there?
No, a little ECW, the Gangsters.
Well, okay. Well, now you're just naming popular teams right now. What about the super heavyweights? You want to put the Hollies in there?
No. I like the D-Generation X, X-Pac, not X-Pac, Badass and Road Dogg. I like them as a tag team. New Age Outlaws.
All right, there you go.
I really wasn't really feeling like Billy and Chuck.
You look. That shit was dope, though.
Wasn't feeling no.
I only said 2 words. People listening to this finished it in their head. I promise you.
I know I did.
I know. I know they did. You saw how I did that right there. I obviously love all those teams as well. There's a lot of old school teams that I look back on, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, those were great fucking teams. Did you mention the Dudleys?
Yeah, the Dudley Boys.
Dudley Boys is in there, obviously. As far as, it's so funny. You remember the shit that a lot of people used to give me before when I put AJ Styles in my top 5? Mm-hmm. And this was 10 years ago, 08, 07. They were like, you're fucking crazy. And now, how does that pick look? So I did something very similar for that time frame because one of my favorite tag teams of all time, one of my favorite tag teams all time. And that's not just from a fan standpoint. I actually gave them more credit once I got into the business myself, and I just really respected them. But I really feel like the Motor City Machine Guns don't get enough love for the way they transcended today's tag team game with the way they made way for teams like the Young Bucks and all that stuff to do what they do on a bigger stage. The Young Bucks, I think, and Machine Guns came out around the same time. But the Young Bucks were kind of a West Coast indie team at the time. They weren't the Young Bucks we know today. But the Guns were doing that shit on national TV, global television every fucking week. Those combinations, the tag team work, the skill they used, I will always, in my dream match to this day, and I will forever regret not getting that match done when I had the chance. But EYFBO, LAX over in Impact Wrestling, my boys, I always wanted to see them going against the Motor City Machine Guns. I'm like, that shit would have been so crazy. I finally got to see them live their dream. They faced the Young Bucks on the cruise. Oh. So that's one dream match off the checklist. And I'm sure we'll be seeing more of that down the line, but the Guns are one of my favorite tag teams of all time. Obviously, now that LAX is on the mainstream doing their thing, I'm going to go ahead and be unbiased as usual and put them in the group. 2 boys that I came up with on the streets doing their thing on the pay-per-view. So I got to appreciate that. Those are some of my favorite tag teams. We're going to go in a different direction now. Cruiserweights.
Oh, wow.
Let's talk cruiserweights. Now, I know you're a big WCW guy, so you're gonna start in that direction. I'm going to go first. Most underrated cruiserweight of all time, of course, Mr. Super Porky. Son. How is he not mentioned more?
Oh, he said Super Porky.
Super Porky has to be discussed more. I mean, Bret Hart went out of his way, out of the goodness of his old Canadian heart, to put this guy over and let you fools out there learn. He's one of the greatest athletes to have ever competed. Then, of course, those dastardly Villanos who used to come out there with their numbers game, those dastardly Villanos. Many cruiserweight. You name some of yours, because I know you're going to name all the WCW guys. I'll bring in the New Age guys after you finish your guys. But I know there's some 205 Live guys out there that impress you now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm a big supporter of 205. I wish they get a little more shine.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot better.
I like Cedric Alexander. He's my favorite 205 now. He's great.
He's dope. I had a chance to book him in Texas. I missed out on that one, too. Yeah, I know. I had a chance. Damn it. There's so many mistakes in my career, I'm telling you.
I like Mustafa Ali, Tony
Nese is good. You know what's funny? I wasn't really that impressed with Ali when he first came in. I don't know if it was just he was really reliant on that 450. I don't know if that was his deal. He moved really good, but I just, what does he do? Over time, I'm just like, wow, this guy is so nasty. And the stuff he did with Daniel Bryan, too.
And he's gotten better on the mic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. And that entrance, that little Sub-Zero thing he's got going on. Oh, man.
The 205 guys, they just need a little. They rushed them. They needed more character development, more storyline, make you feel why should I watch these guys?
They slowed it down, yeah. Well, Triple H has figured out how to use a fucking hour, man. Yeah. With NXT, he has learned how to do 60 minutes worth and get the most out of that shit. And to think how crazy an idea of it. You really want to get your guys over in 60 minutes? Take some people off the fucking show. What a shock. What a shock. What an outside the box thought. Focus on each individual talent. Give them time.
Yeah.
And then build your fucking matches up. How crazy is that? Old school cruiserweights. I know you got a few of them.
Dean Malenko.
Oh, yes. There you go. Now the fanboys out here are getting hard. Go ahead.
Little Eddie Guerrero.
Woo! Erection City, baby.
Young Rey Mysterio.
Young, when he had his knees.
Young Psychosis.
Yeah, Psychosis. There's a lot of guys, man.
Ayatollah Rockarola. Chris Jericho started off as a cruiserweight.
He should have never been a cruiserweight, though. Even at that time, he was pretty big for that division.
Yeah, Juventud.
Hoovy had the most racist entrance theme.
And the guy with the most gold I ever seen, the Ultimo Dragon, coming to the ring with 18 belts.
Ultimo. I can't believe you haven't said Cybernetico yet. How have you not mentioned this guy?
I was about to go to La Parka.
There you go. The chairman of the WCW.
Looked a little big to be a cruiserweight, though.
How did LWO not work out? How was that a flop? I don't understand how that worked.
Not original enough of an idea.
What was more racist, LWO or the Mexicools?
LWO.
He put, guys, if you could, I know this is audio, but if I could have put that face on video, that was the most perplexed look I've ever seen on a human's face. Because he knows both is the right answer. He just wanted to see which one was worse.
LWO.
I think LWO actually too, believe it or not. Because at least the Mexicools, like they had some input on that. It was just like, we want to do something different. LWO was literally just a gigantic fuck you to the NWO. Oh, man. Some of the best cruiserweights in the world. When I think of some of the best cruiserweights in the world, I also got to tip my cap to the X Division. The old school X Division of TNA. Yeah, Chris Sabin, Frankie Kazarian. A lot of those guys from back in the day. Petey Williams, who's doing this thing now back in WWE. What a missed opportunity there. That would have been dope.
I don't think they would have did his finisher, though.
The Canadian Destroyer? Nah, they wouldn't have let it. Well, I don't know now because... No, they wouldn't. At the time when he was hot, they wouldn't have done it. But now, recently, with this new style in the WWE, they've been letting people do those poison ranas, those reverse Frankenstein. I mean, if Ricochet can double backflip off a cage, I think anything at this point is kind of on par. Do you watch NXT religiously, or?
I have been the past few weeks. I've been paying attention.
Okay, yeah, because I don't watch it religiously. I'm not as big on the show as a lot of people are. I think the takeovers are awesome because they take the time to. I'll give the weekly shows, credit for the way that they tell their stories and they build up their characters. Mm-hmm. Those are interesting. The matches are garbage because it's usually like the top star against like the jobber. It's like watching NXT now is like watching Raw circa 93, 94, where they would take like your big star and then bring in Jabroni #1, like local talent, and then he'd hit like all of their finishers on him and then beat him, and then it would look really good. And then, like, the next guy would do the same thing, and then those two guys would face at the fucking pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. That's dope. That doesn't make the show good. That's why I tell people all the time, it's like, you need to remove the NXT dick from your mouth because it's not as special as everybody tends to think that it is. You know, overhype, I think, is a big word.
It's good for what it's trying to do.
It's developmental. That's it. I've been telling people for forever. Is it a dope developmental? Yeah, sure. It's awesome. When you watch those takeovers are a lot of fun to watch. They're really good. But let's not lose fucking track of what the hell is going on here. If I could take a time machine and bring in its prime X Division, 06, 07, maybe even 05, and bring it to prime WCW Cruiserweight, 96, 97, 98. Those matches would be absolutely insane. Who goes over?
Oh gosh,
who goes over? Who's? I'm not saying who's the better division, because that's subjective. But like, if you better question. I'm thinking off the top of my head, folks. This is just us spitballing, all right? Because this is normally what we do. We sit in my apartment and we just fucking do this shit. I want to come up with a fucking 10-man tag all-star game. Who are the 5 cruiserweights from WCW and the 5 X Division guys from TNA? I think I'm more familiar with the TNA guys than you. So you go ahead and you select your WCW team. I'll select my my TNA team.
Good Lord.
We're talking in its prime. So anybody who's ever been labeled a cruiserweight during the WCW period, they're free. They're accessible to you, even if they moved up to heavyweight. If I'm going to bring them back down to cruiserweight because that's where they started, you feel free. This is the top 5 WCW cruiserweights versus my top 5 X Division.
So I'm going Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, Rey Mysterio, Chris Jericho, and Psychosis.
Psychosis. Okay. All right.
I need a little X Factor. I need a little wild man on my team. Somebody willing to,
All right. I thought you were going to hit me with Lenny Lane at some point. So hold on.
Wait. I'm going to switch Psychosis. Billy Kidman. There we go.
There you go. All right. Yeah. Okay. That doesn't sound a little better. I was actually kind of like weirded out by Psychosis. So I was like, there's got to be a better cruiserweight in there. All right. For the X Division team, I got to start with the greatest X Division guy of all time, AJ Styles. And then follow accordingly. I'm going to leave Samoa Joe out. I will not include Samoa Joe for obvious reasons. But AJ Styles, I'm going to go Christopher Daniels. I'm going to go low key. What are the original X Division guys? Low key. I'm going to go with Chris Sabin. And if I had to go for my 5th guy, oh man, so many guys to fucking choose from. You know what? The hindsight being 2020, my 5th guy is going to be Jay Lethal.
Ooh.
That's going to be because he was a huge guy in the X Division at the time. I think he's a 4-time champion, and he had great matches as the X Division. And now, of course, one of the greatest Ring of Honor champions of all time. I'll go and take that. That's my squad right there. I'm running with it. Based on everybody we chose, it's kind of funny because if I was booking that, I probably would put the old guys over. Now that I'm thinking about it, because it'd be a one-shot deal. Those young guys don't need that win. Let these old guys go out.
I mean, that would be. How much time would you give them? That's a lot of hot spots.
I'd give them 20 minutes, and I'm going to be honest with you. I would probably let Dean and Styles start, or Dean and Daniels, Malenko and Daniels. Let the 2 veterans start off with the wrestling. let them wrestle.
Yes.
In the beginning to start off, and then we'll let Ray and Chris and all those guys do that crazy shit after the fact. But let's start this match off with some good old fashioned wrestling.
That's right.
And we'll let the 1,000
holes.
Yeah, we'll let the 2 technicians, the ring general Christopher Daniels against the man of 1,000 holes, Dean Malenko. Ooh, I think I got a chub. Just thinking about that. That's professional wrestling right there. My God in heaven.
That would be awesome.
I like the fact that we're mixing old and new, baby. Old and new. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to go goats in another direction. Okay? Greatest women's performer of all time. Now, I said performer because, to be honest with you, we don't really have a whole lot of mainstream anyway. Mainstream women's wrestling to really divulge into. Now, I know people are going to listen to this show and go, wait a minute now, Orsini. We've had women's wrestling for a long time. And usually when people tell me that, it's usually indie stuff, the Joshi stuff over in Japan. Europe's been doing stuff for a long time. I get all that. But I'm trying to get to a more broader sense here. We're opening up all the floodgates. If you know a few, drop them out. But, I mean, if you want to go overseas, I can hit you with Bull Nakano, obviously. His name's got to be brought up there. Ayumi Hamasaki's got to be brought up in there. Some of the newer cats.
I only can remember those 2 from coming over from WCW.
Right. Medusa's done some things. You got to throw Medusa's name in there. Yeah. You can go local, some baby doll action. You can go... there's a lot of different directions you go. The UK scene right now is popular with a lot of chicks. Toni Storm, obviously, is the top name that comes out for a lot of people. You guys got a chance to see her at the Mae Young Classic. Actually, that's the one thing about the Mae Young Classic I actually like, where it's not just like indie chicks from here. It's actual like talent from all over the place, and it's kind of giving you a sense. But do you have any women's wrestling memories besides Jacqueline's tits on pay-per-view or Miss Cat's tits at Armageddon? You know, because we grew up with bra and panties and
we
gravy bowls and Jello molds. And
we didn't get high quality women's matches.
Yeah.
We got the bathroom break matches. It was like, do I really want to watch this?
We got questionable shit sent our way when we were fucking coming up.
I mean, two women who I think were underappreciated were Ivory and Victoria.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I mean, they were the mechanics, right? They had to make all the other bitches look good.
I mean, I think those two would do good currently if they were wrestling.
They looked good at Evolution when I was there. Oh. Well, except for Victoria, who won't be invited back anytime soon, unfortunately. She's got some legal stuff holding her back. Nothing now, but she had legal stuff in the past and all that stuff. So, you know how they get here at WWE, the Pettyville over here, but petty.
Yeah, I'm mad they had an Evolution show. I wish she was, in better standing with the WWE. I would love to see AJ Lee there. I would have loved to see that.
She doesn't have a problem with the WWE. Her husband is the fucking problem.
Wow.
If I can promise you this, if they would have sent the fucking thing out to her, or it's just like, hey, we're interested, a feeler, hey, we're interested in bringing you in for the show. It'd be a one-time deal, nice tip of the cap to the audience, that type of deal. Even if she didn't respond, the fact that she got it, he'd probably beat her ass for that. So beat that serious. This guy has got a boner for the WWE so fucking crazy. He cut off his best friend because of it. Cole Cabana.
Yes.
Cole Cabana did something advertisement-wise with them and showed up to an event, and he fucking cut his friend off. To the point where this guy's trying to stiff him on the fucking court bill. You think if his fucking wife showed up, whatever, he'd beat her ass. He smacked the shit out of this bitch if she showed up on fucking WWE pay-per-view. You fucking crazy?
After he left, she was still wrestling for them.
Right, but that was when everything was still fresh, bro. I mean, we're talking about the court thing is over now, and settlements are being made, and he's still trying to get that last check and all this. Oh man, are you kidding me, man? If she would have showed up on pay-per-view, she'd have had to fucking flee the country. He'd have came looking for that ass, dog bounty hunter style. He'd have been geared up with a cam on him, searching his wife out.
I would love if they trolled the WWE, like show up to like an event in Chicago and just be sitting in the crowd and just troll them with her.
The idea was he was probably going to do that for All In. That was what the rumor was when they did the show in Chicago for All In. The rumor mill was that he was going to be there, and I kept saying for weeks. I don't know if you heard those episodes. There's no fucking point. What fucked up the CM Punk involvement in All In, and I'll say it again for those who didn't get a chance to hear the episode, was the fact that they sold out. When they sold out in quote-unquote 26 minutes, that shut the door on CM Punk. What the fuck was the point? What's the need? Could they have dug into their pockets and figured out a number that was right for Punk to at least make an appearance? Maybe. But when you've sold the show out, you don't need the draw. What was the point? You already sold the show out. What draw do you need? You were the draw. And and you know what? Hindsight being 2020, I've told a few people this personally. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I don't think I've said it on the show, but I will say it on the show. All In sold out, not because of All In. Not a chance. No chance in hell. They didn't even have fucking matches announced when that fucking building sold out. They didn't even have all the talent figured out yet.
That's
all
true.
they did was announce the fucking show, and here are the tickets, and it sold out in 26 minutes. It had nothing to do with All In. It was a fuck you to the WWE. That's it. That's it. There's no other reason. People flew out across the fucking country, bought hotels, and bought tickets to an indie show in a building just to say fuck you to the WWE. Just because they wanted to showcase that there is another alternative. You don't have to take the force feeding. And I said when it happened, I'll believe that thought process when I see it. Because you can do a one-off, a one event, and be successful. Can you do it every week? Now we're hearing rumors now about all elite wrestling, the Young Bucks and Kazarian and Daniels and Cody and all these, and this football owner from the Jacksonville Jaguars is going to donate billions of dollars and blah, 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 blah. I will believe it when I see it. Do I think that they have an idea on paper of something they want to try and do entertainment-wise and wrestling-wise? Yeah, of course, obviously. But for people to sit here and say, finally, some competition from the WWE, no. No. It does not exist. Competition for the WWE died in 2001. That was it. No one else has come close.
Yeah.
Not TNA, not New Japan. No one's come close. New Japan is trying to expand out and do different things. Can New Japan be a threat at some point? I actually think that it can, but it's not now.
No.
And neither will All Elite Wrestling. Neither will that. It's going to take a while. This company is a billion-dollar fucking company. And we were talking earlier about G1, about them moving the date and all that stuff. And I told you, and I'll say it here on the show, no one is fucking afraid of the G1 Supercard. No one is afraid of it. They've got 5 fucking days locked up in that city. What the fuck do they care about the G1 being on a Saturday? Who gives a flying fuck? If anything, they're doing G1 a fucking favor. Because I keep being told all the time, well, both shows will be sold out. I doubt it. One will do better than the other, but it won't be by much. And at least this way, the WWE can make all their money, and G1 can make all their money. WWE can move their dates at will. They have that power. They can go to another venue. They can go to another day. The G1 can't move their fucking show. I looked it up. There's a hockey game before it. There's a hockey game after it. There's no room. They got the Blue Jackets on Friday, and they have another fucking team on fucking Sunday. They're stuck.
Now, help me out here. Okay, so NXT's on Friday.
Yeah, NXT's going to be on Friday.
The Hall of Fame is on Saturday.
Yeah, so they're going to be going head-to-head with the Hall of Fame, technically.
So, isn't the Hall of Fame in the same building? Because when I went to the Hall of Fame a couple of years ago...
No, the Hall of Fame is going to be at Barclay, while G1 runs the Garden.
Oh, that sucks.
For who?
For the Hall of Fame.
I'm happy. You know what makes me happy? All the hardcore marks, all the hardcore asshole fans will be at G1, which is great because finally I'll get a chance to enjoy the Hall of Fame without the dickheads in the audience. They're all going to G1. Normally when I get a Hall of Fame, I'll get a guy up here who's a Hall of Famer. He's being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he's telling his story, and I got fans chanting bullshit shit in the stands and acting like assholes and trying to make the show about them. Those fuckers are going to be over at the Garden.
Now,
so good. Let them go up there, and we'll let the real wrestling fans into the Barclays Center, and we'll enjoy a good Hall of Fame.
Question for you.
Okay.
Hall of Fame. You going?
Am I going to the Hall of Fame? That's a tough one. I'm not sure. Scheduling-wise, I have to figure that out because I'm already getting a babysitter for Mania. So I don't know how the babysitter thing's going to work out for the night before. If I can get a double shot, I'd love to because I've never been. The problem is it's a 4-hour commitment of no wrestling, so I don't know. I got to think about it.
2, if you did go, what would be your attire?
Suit. I've said it on the show before.
Good man.
Suit,
Good
top
man.
to bottom, fresh cut.
Good man.
Shine shoes.
Show the Hall of Fame
Yes.
proper respect.
My wife said the same thing. She'd have dress, hair done, the whole deal. You're supposed to. That's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I was.
Any asshole that goes with the fuck. I've said it on this. I was actually one of my earlier episodes. I think I did a Hall of Fame thing, like one of the first, like episode 4 or 5, where I had this fucking cardiac arrest about the fucking Hall of Fame. That's the point of the Hall of Fame. It's called. They're not misleading you. The fucking event is called WWE Hall of Fame. It's a Hall of Fame ceremony. There won't be any wrestling. Okay, so you can leave your signs.
Your shirts.
You can leave your shirts. All that garbage. There's a time and place for all that. Hall of Fame ain't that. And for anybody who disagrees with me, if you were going into the Hall of Fame tomorrow and I did the shit that you think is okay, you'd be not so happy. You wouldn't be happy. What is the fucking point of going to the Hall of Fame dressed like you just came from the fucking park? Like you just came from balling. I've seen people in the fucking audience for the Hall of Fame. They look like they just came off the street and wandered into the building and sat down because it felt like the air conditioning was good.
Yes.
And I don't understand it. And especially if you're a fan and you do that, I don't like it, but I'll let you go because you're a fan. When you go to the Hall of Fame and you claim to be a part of the business, like I have coworkers, people that I've worked with in wrestling shows who go to the event, and no lie, I've seen them go with book bags into the building and like try to peddle their shit at the Hall of Fame.
Oh no.
I've seen it. I've heard the stories. And they'll go, or even worse, the indie wrestler who goes to the Hall of Fame and wears his merch to the fucking show. Like, I can't even fathom what kind of asshole are you? Like, have you separated your rib cage to suck your own dick? Has it happened for you? I can't even imagine. So that's why it's like it's not even a hesitation for me. I already figured it out. And it wouldn't even be an old suit. I'd have to get a whole new suit.
Ooh.
To be honest with you, yeah, I'd have to get a whole new suit. I want to go in there smelling straight off the rack, baby. Straight off the rack. I got to get my fucking hair figured out, all kinds of stuff.
All right.
My wife was like, I got to get the whole shit. But you know my wife, she doesn't get feet done, hands done, all that stuff. She's like, maybe for the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, got to look
She's
proper.
like, you got to look good. You got to look good. We have some rumors about this here at the Hall of Fame. I'm hearing rumors about The Rock. That'd be a very entertaining, Hall of Fame induction. At least I know that for him, the clock would be set because this fucker can talk all goddamn day.
Oh, yeah.
All
He'd have to go
goddamn
on last.
He has to headline. Who's headlining above The Rock?
Depends on who they decide to put in.
No, there's nobody they could put in at this point that would be more important than The Rock.
If they put Taker in, he's more important than The Rock.
But they wouldn't do both.
That's the
They
problem.
can't do Taker and Rock at the same time. If they announce Taker, Rock's not going in. There's no way. They both would have to head their own classes. You can't put those two fucking guys in together.
Well, that's good debate. Who goes in this year? What names are floating around? What have you heard?
I haven't really heard much other than the fact that Rock's name's on a piece of paper. If you're asking who I think should go in first between Rock Taker, at this stage I would probably say The Rock, but only because I don't think Taker's done. Yeah, I know. Again, guys, it's an audio thing, and he's just making. My friend is a very facial expression kind of guy. He keeps forgetting there's no camera on right now.
I mean, as much as I do love The Undertaker, and nobody wants to see their heroes ride off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Every good thing comes to an end sometimes. I had to accept the fact that Hulk Hogan no longer was wrestling at one point in my childhood.
The only reason I give him any flack at all about it is because he was so vocal in his prime about guys hanging on too long. The guys who made it a fact when they were young to shit on the older guys, when they become the older guys and they start doing that same bullshit, I kind of have to hold you accountable for that. Because there's some young guys you hear and you're like, oh, well, they're older guys. You got to show that respect. When they get old and they do it, I have no problem. Because when they were young, they gave it up to the old guys. So now it's like when you're the kid and you're giving respect to your grandpa.
Yeah.
And you're respecting your grandpa because one day you're going to be grandpa. And God help that little shit if he doesn't fucking respect you. It's the same deal. If you're one of those kids, fuck that old man, blah, 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 and then you become the old man and then you're doing all that corny shit, then I'm sorry, I have to hold you fucking accountable for that.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when CM Punk used to do those promos all part-time. Oh, John Cena. John Cena's whole rap against The Rock was that he was a part-time guy. And now, he's practically, actually, he's not part-time. He's pretty much announced the other day that he's done. Yeah, he did. There was this big article out about John Cena. Again, with the facial expression. Open your mouth!
He did?
Yes.
I didn't see.
I wish I could find that article now. I got to look for it and post it up. But there was an article he did, some interview he did when they were asking about his return and all that stuff, and he literally just said, he goes, my time is up. That's it.
Oh, he's gone completely Hollywood.
Why not? Why would you come back at this point?
I thought they would set him
I would prefer it. I don't like the back and forth, to be honest with you, because when you do the back and forth, this guy who was just on TV, Vince McMahon, he starts getting this weird erection about the idea that, it's crossover appeal. We push this guy to do certain things, and I don't want that. You're either in or you're out, man. You're in my business or you're not in my business.
I just thought they would have Cena break Flair's record before he...
Oh, fucking hell. I'm still angry he tied that fucking record.
WWE likes to stick it to the WCW guys.
On their own time. And the fact that Flair is just he's all about it, praising it. I'm like, oh my God. You knew at some point someone would break it.
Well, Flair is rumored to try to come back and untie that thing.
He's cleared. I talked about it last week. He's cleared. He's going to Apollo Creed himself. He's not going to stop until he's a lifeless blob in the middle of the ring. He's going to keep going until he dies. That's the only way to stop him. You want to give Ric Flair peace? Kill him. This is his version. Him walking around with a license saying that he's cleared to wrestle is the same, like the equivalent of the quadriplegic who's with, pull the plug, pull it, pull the plug. That's him. He wants you to put the pillow in his face and smother him. Because as long as he's breathing air, he's going to push. Mm-hmm. He's going to push forward. That's the only way he knows how to live his life. You have to take him behind the shed and put it between his eyes for him to stop. He's not going to stop. And the WWE is not going to let him wrestle.
Oh, no.
That means he's going to go to a place that's much less safe, much less regulated. He's going to start wrestling either indie guys or God forbid he takes his ass to Impact or whatever the case may be, and he just starts getting his ass kicked again.
He will be the oldest world champion in Impact.
He will never be champion again. Even Impact's not that stupid. And they put the belt on Austin Aries.
I mean, I don't know. They might.
And I was told 1,000 times, it's all the work. No, it turns out it wasn't work. Austin Aries is gone. Austin Aries is gone. That'll work, guys. This is why I always tell people, and I think this is why you contact me a lot, because I tell people all the time, you think you know. You don't know. You don't know. You're guessing. A lot of fans guess. And they rely on dirt sheets, and dirt sheets guess. Now, people will rely more heavily on the dirt sheets that guess the most correct, but they're still guess. Just like my argument with Dave Meltzer. You know who Dave Meltzer is.
I've heard of Dave Meltzer.
You know who Dave Meltzer is.
Mr. 5-star rating himself.
Mr. 5-star rating himself. Right, exactly. And you know what? He is more inside than a lot of reporters. He has genuine relationships with people inside WWE, inside New Japan. Like, he knows people. Like, he's broken bread with Vince McMahon, and he's been to actual Wrestle Kingdom shows, and he knows. You want to talk about me being, like, an aficionado, like the standard of wrestling knowledge. Like, this guy, like, literally wrote books on fucking this business. He guesses. Okay? He guesses. I tell people all the time, you have to think about the situations that you're talking about. Forget wrestling for a second. Throw wrestling out of the book, out of the way. If you're in any company, if you worked at McDonald's and the manager got into it with the fry guy behind closed doors, you don't know what was discussed.
Nope.
So when you go back to your cashier, buddy, and you start telling the story, you're filling in your own blanks because you don't know. You're just assuming. And you're telling your side of the story, and it turns into a bad game of telephone, and all of a sudden everyone has the wrong information. But it's factual to most because it was consistent. That's the problem. The two people who were involved have their own story. Everybody else outside of that tells their own story. And because it's the same story, people just think it's concrete. That's it. If six people have verified this, then it has to be true. The problem is it's the same version of the lie that's been told 1,000 times. That's why when people say, how long was Kurt Angle supposed to arrive before he actually did? Every week, here comes Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Here comes Kurt Angle. It was to the point where I was putting out memes on social media like of people crying. They're like, he's still not here. Wow. Because you don't know. You think you know, you don't. There are people in the business who are in the business who don't know. It all depends on the situation. So whenever you read these things online, you have to always take them with a grain of salt. It's just like anything in the newspaper and journalism. You might get your sources, and you take those sources, you verify those sources with other sources, and you go back and forth. But these dirt sheets, they don't do that. A lot of times, and this is no lie, I've seen this. For instance, and I don't mean to shout people out, but fuck it, they're dirt sheets. Who gives a shit? Ringside News. Ringside News will go and they'll put this big article out with this big headline. And all it really is a page telling you that they read a tweet this morning. That's it. That's what the whole article is. You know, CM Punk rumored for return. It grabs you, right? So you click it, and it's like 20 paragraphs. And all it really is a quote of CM Punk's tweet from the night before, and then their translation of what they think it may mean. But if you don't read the article and you just read the headline, and it says CM Punk, rumored return, people share that. All of a sudden now, oh my God, he's going to be on Monday. And then when it doesn't happen, they go online and they boo, and they go, this Raw sucked. Well, why did it suck? I was expecting CM Punk. Why did you expect him? Because you're an idiot.
Yes.
Why did you put your expectations on 100 when it should have been at 50 because of some shit you read online? That's not WWE's fault. That's your fault. You need to self-assess.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we've had those conversations.
Absolutely.
I think one time when they announced Daniel Bryan was cleared to wrestle, I think I texted you a picture like they announced it. You was like, where'd you hear that? I was like, WWE said it.
That was the first thing I told you. I was like, I just need to know where you heard it from. And then you sent me, I think it was an actual picture. You snapshotted that it came from the website. And then I used your picture after I went to the website to confirm it. I was like, oh, is it really on here? And it's like, holy shit. And that's when I expect. And thank you for that, because I was one of the first few to have that picture. And I got like 1,000 views on that because everyone was, again, but see, here's how that worked. It worked in my favor again. There is the headline. Daniel Bryan cleared to return, right? So everyone has their interest in it. But I didn't post an article. I posted photo evidence. I didn't need 20 paragraphs to tell you that this guy was returning. I just needed a snapshot. That's it. That's all I had was a snapshot. So whenever you read these things online, folks, I will tell you this. Rule of thumb. The more wording in an article,
the less truth.
The less truth. It's more bullshit. It's them taking a statement and exaggerating it to try to get you to be convinced about the idea that even if they're wrong, they at least had enough evidence to base this guess. At the end of the day, it's a guess. That's it. There's nothing else. It's just a guess. We have lost path yet again, but this is beautiful. I like the fact that we keep going on. I like going off track every now and then, depending on what the situation is. I've got one more goat. I've got one more goat before we move on to something else. I've got one more goat in this category. And I know that this category is very near and dear to your heart. That's why I kind of want to get your opinion on this. But there are two secondary championships within WWE currently that need to be discussed. And, of course, that's the Intercontinental Championship and the United States Championship. Now, the United States Championship's history is a little more complicated than the Intercontinental Championship. You happen to have a very unique history with the United States Championship. So, let's have that conversation. Who, in your opinion, are some, you don't have to give me the one, give me some of the greatest Intercontinental Champions of all time, and some of the greatest United States Champions of all time. I don't care which variation. It could be WWE, it could be WCW, it could be NWA.
Okay. Well, for the Intercontinental title, I mean, Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
Macho Man was a good IC champ, too, at one point. Honky Tonk Man,
that was back when being the Intercontinental Champion was that first step before.
Meant something.
Because, yeah, it meant something because that was them trying to feel you out before they put the big belt on you. If you couldn't do the IC belt back then, you got no sniff of the big belt.
Rick Rude definitely on that list.
Should have been WWF champion at some point. I'm in that camp by now.
I mean, Warrior made the belt popular by him switching the colors every match's outfit.
That was dope, yes.
But not like.
You think he paid for that leather every time? Because
no.
he had a powder blue, he had a white,
yellow.
He had a yellow.
Green.
You don't think he
might have
contributed a little bit? I mean, that's a lot of different.
He might have
variation to that belt there. Man, you were old school here. You're looking at your champion something like the 80s and stuff.
Yeah, I mean nowadays the belt.
Pat Patterson, of course, one of the original.
The belt nowadays.
Big tournament in Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah. the belt nowadays, they don't put enough emphasis on it for me to have a real standout guy.
It really sucks that we just saw this TLC pay-per-view, which we never did get a chance to talk about. We have to talk about this pay-per-view right before we leave here. We're going to talk about this pay-per-view, but yes. I actually think like one of the worst matches on this card was the Intercontinental Championship match, which sucks because Seth's usually been one of the better matches on shows recently.
But that goes to show you the United States title wasn't even defended.
It was not, and I blame Shinsuke's current blue leotard situation. I think he needs to get his blouse game down. And bring some of that other stuff back up here.
United States champions. Every time I used to see that old school WCW belt with the little American flag in the middle, every time I saw the belt, Lex Luger had it.
That's true. Yeah.
It was Lex Luger, Barry Windham, Sting had it a few times. But I just consistently remember Lex Luger with that belt. Like, we're going to give you a chance at the World Heavyweight title, but you get a United States champion.
I remember when the U.S. title, like in the Nitro days, was like when DDP had it, Booker T had it.
Booker T, yes.
I think Jericho. No, Jericho never had it. Jericho had the TV title.
He who shall not be named, or do you want me to name him?
Well, she's not here. You can name him.
Oh, no. I'm talking about Chris Benoit.
Oh, yeah.
Great United States champion. That best of 7 between him and Booker T was...
Yeah, by the way, that's a topic you feel very passionately about. I have been very careful not to mention the Chris Benoit deal because, to be honest with you, I was waiting for the right person to really talk to about it, and that would be you. If we can sidetrack for a second here and get a little bit on this Chris Benoit situation. Breaking news, folks. Polgreen's got this figured out. He knows exactly what happened. He can give you the play-by-play, minute by minute. But no, in all seriousness, like, you're one of those Kevin Sullivan guys. Because you're not the only one. It's not like you invented this, but you do feel the evidence strongly suggests this is a little bit more than your average double murder-suicide situation.
I mean,
I don't know how average that is. I'm just going based on the numbers.
I mean, everybody nowadays, everybody watches enough CSI and Law and Orders to, you can put 2 and 2 together, and people who go to the gym, who work out, you can see certain things, and when you hear about his case, it's like, that doesn't fit. That doesn't fit.
Yeah. His case kind of sounds a lot like the 9/11 conspiracy theories, where it's just like these mythical things where it's just like, I don't know, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And then when you hear like third-party stories, the travel story about him having the conversation. I mentioned to you earlier that I heard Chris Jericho on his own podcast state that he received a phone call from Chris's home like that morning that everything went down, which was odd, and it was just, there's a lot of question marks with that. I know the official police report has whatever it has in it, and everyone knows, and I'm not trying to sit here and disrespect any of the families involved. We're just saying some things don't add the fuck up.
Some things just don't add up, man.
Some things just don't add up, and some things just don't make sense. There were so many things going on in his life, both personally and professionally, that have come out since his death, where people close to him, who know him, who interact with him almost on a daily basis, look at this case and go, this is a little off.
Yeah, I think...
I'm hoping to one day really I want to get, like, mad evidence together. Like, I just want to put... Like, I want the official report. Like, I want to do a whole episode on this one day and just fucking get all the information together.
I think it was real easy for them to just wrap that into a big bow. And just like, this is it. It
was too perfect. It was too perfect. Isn't that like an even bigger problem where it's just like everything all pointed in the right direction and everything was... There was like the investigation was like, what, a day?
2 days.
2 days, right? It was about 2 days.
Not enough time.
No forensics, no. They just looked at this and went, yep, there you go. Double murder suicide, all done. Nice, wrapped up little bow right here.
And what did they say? Oh, he had the brain of a 70-year-old.
Yeah, so does every fucking athlete. When they cut open the fucking Junior Seau's brain, they said the same shit. But he didn't haul off and kill anybody. He killed himself. Right, exactly. He didn't murder his fucking family with it. There's a lot of these situations where even though they're aggressive, they don't go to that point. With CTE and drug use and alcohol and all that crap.
All those seem more self-inflicted. You don't lash out to others like you're dealing with your own demons.
More often than not, they self-terminate or self-deprecate themselves. They torture themselves in a way. They never really get to that point. They'll verbally abuse other people or they'll psychologically do it, but not too many times like you hear like football players with actual diagnosed CTE, because we didn't know about CTE at that time when Benoit passed away. If you look at his X-rays and all that stuff now, when you hear the stories of doctors looking over his case, now they look at that and they're like, oh yeah, big CTE guy. Well, of course. Show me a pro wrestler from his fucking era that doesn't have multiple fucking scar tissue on their fucking brain.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Mick Foley has the brain of a 90-year-old man.
Jesus Christ. Mick Foley is immortal. He will never die. Speaking of which, a lot of people pissed off at Mick Foley about the Dynamite Kid situation. People, because people used to say, well, Dynamite Kid's style. They're like, oh, he'll be in a wheelchair. And they used to say the same thing with Mick. Well, Mick is not in a wheelchair, barely, but Dynamite was for a while. So they're like, God damn it, how did Mick escape it? DDP yoga is how that shit happened.
Oh, Lord, you mentioned DD. Oh, gosh.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that for a quick. We're going to get back to the Intercontinental Champion United States stuff, but what is it about DDP that you hated so goddamn much?
His whole character.
His whole character? The whole working man,
maybe it was his look. Like
he was the average common man.
He wasn't the most athletic guy. His matches kind of bored me. I would drift off to sleep. Third DDP
Up until
matches.
he hit that diamond cutter out of nowhere, baby.
No. To me,
He can hit it from anywhere. I just love the fact that he took the time to plan brand new ways to execute a diamond cutter. Springboards off the top rope from a fucking cravat. He pulled all these different things and all that. Oh, I'm done. I would just love when Tony Schiavone would lose his fucking mind every time he hit it. Diamond cutter! They hit it in the center of the ring.
and there was no like setup to his matches. It would just let's go in there and wing it, and I'm gonna hit you with a diamond cutter at some point.
Well, actually, from what I understand from people that have worked with him, he used to get a lot of heat because he would have scripts. He would, I'm just now learning this myself. I knew that he was kind of spotty because he was a lot like, Savage had that problem from time to time in his earlier days where he was like, he wanted to make sure the match had some structure to it. Never did Macho go move for move, except for maybe, like, I hear a lot of rumors about WrestleMania 3, but for the most part, like, Macho can get in there and work.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't need to schedule it or plan it out from T to T. Whereas DDP at the time, this is back in the 90s, would catch a lot of heat because he'd go up to guys with actual, like, fucking napkins or loose leaf or whatever, and he'd have it move for move, like opening bell to the finish. And people would just look at him like he was fucking crazy. And now, if you look in the locker room now in 2018, almost everybody does it that way, where it's like bell to bell. I can't wrestle, myself personally, I cannot wrestle a match that has it mapped out from bell to bell. It makes no sense to me at all whatsoever. I just don't want to do it. Give me a start, give me a finish, give me something in the middle, and then we'll just fucking we'll figure all that other shit out.
It makes it more entertaining for not only you and the guy you're wrestling, the fans. They don't, because it's hard. When I watch WWE now, I can basically look at a match and I'm like, oh, I know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
But every now and then I get a genuine surprise where I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
good stuff.
Surprises only work if it happens once in a while, but at the same time, like, to do the same rudimentary stuff over and over and over. I don't know if did you hear the episode where I went to Evolution and Steph called the finish from the corridor? Hilarious.
Good
Hilarious.
stuff.
She was like, ding, ding, boom. It was like, wait. Okay, that's it. That's the finish. And they went, 1, 2, 3. You fucking savants. What's up with you? I created a fucking monster, a beast. She's online for fucking cotton candy, and she still calls finishes. I was like, this is fucking crazy. Steph is wonderful, yet frustrating to sit next to at wrestling events because she critiques everything. And she enjoys the matches, but like whenever, I'll tell you like this, she's great to sit next to when the match is going well. Because she's not really critiquing much. Everything's going smooth. This is dope. Like, even now and then, if we're not talking, she'll just be staring, and I'll look at her, stare, and she'll just go, ha, dope. Like, you know what I mean? Like she's just enjoying it. She gets really fucking crucial when the match is not going so well and the communication is not there. This match in particular, over in the background, Ruby Riott, Natalia for TLC, and my wife was just destroying Natalia this entire time. I was like, that's when it's not going well. It was and my wife will sit there and she'll say, like, they'll do something and she's like, should have did that. That looks weird.
Yeah.
That looks weird. You should have did this, or at least try this, give this a shot, or mix this in. Like, she used to do that, like, when I used to do the 2KW shows, and when I used to do the shows in Texas. As a promoter, I like to sit in for the matches to see what's going to happen, what do you guys have planned, obviously, and I have to give finishes out and all that stuff, and my wife would see that, and she would study that, and she would, the communication between wrestler and myself and going back and forth. And even for my own matches. When I would have matches, she's sitting right there looking at it. So we're doing the whole thing. We're talking, blah, blah, blah. So she's seen it a million times. Mm-hmm. So whenever, like, she sees Raws or SmackDowns or pay-per-views, even though she didn't see how they came about that, she can picture in her head how that conversation went. So it leads to funny situations. So, like, you'll see, like, a suplex that was, like, really dumb. Like, it was just a ridiculous move. Like, we'll look at each other as like, wow, can you imagine that conversation? Bro, I'm going to build it back you off the top. And off the huh? Off the what now? Now, you're not belly to back and shit.
Some of those conversations must be great. You're there trying to get a coffee, Guy comes up to you, taps you on the shoulder. Hey, I'm wrestling you tonight, right? Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna hit you with this big boot, and I'm gonna climb. I'm gonna climb to the rope. Mind you, I weigh 350, and I'm gonna do this somersault until like a Harlem Hangover, and you're just gonna eat it all.
He's just gonna eat the whole thing. It would be, and what's funny is that what a lot of fans don't understand today is liberties. They don't understand taking liberties. They don't understand being respectful, and when you're caught being disrespectful, that you're gonna pay for that. Because there's a difference between a Vader bomb and a Vader bomb.
Yes.
And that's what would happen. In that scenario you just gave, where you tap to the guy and say, hey, man, we're wrestling tonight. Just want to give a couple ideas to you. I'm going to hit you with the big boot, this, and the fourth. When we get to the finish, I'm going to back elbow you in the corner. You fall down. I'm going for the Vader bomb and come down. If I say I'm going to Vader bomb you, and you express concern about this Vader bomb, you going to get the real Vader bomb now. Because what I said to you, all you needed to do was go, okay, yes, sir. And that's it. That's the end of the conversation. Now we're going to work. As soon as you start coming up to me with some other shit, now you're annoying me. Which means now you need to learn how this works. So now you catch real Vader bomb, boom. That way the next time I tap on you and go, hey, brother, we're working tonight. I'm going to give you a big boot, da-da-da-da, Vader bomb. You're going to go, yes, sir, Vader, sir. I'll be right there. I'll be right there waiting for you. Don't worry about it. I'm going to make it look good.
That's right.
And there it is. All nice and done. We shared a story. I shared a story with you. It was a Bully Ray story. Bubba Ray Dudley. You remember this one, right? With the Acolytes.
Yes.
When the Dudley Boys were talking this. I don't know if my fans have heard this story before, but it was a story shared by Bubba Ray during an interview. I wish I could remember which interview it was so I can give it props, but he was telling a story about how they were supposed to debut by hitting the Acolytes with boards. And the original idea wasn't boards. They were like trying to run through different things. Oh, we can do chairs or whatever the case may be. But the idea was they just wanted to do something different so that they stood out from your usual run-in interference or whatever. So they came with the boards. It actually falls right in line with this topic because there was some concern, because they're walking in the door and Public Enemy was just there and they beat the shit out of Public Enemy for shit just like this.
Yes, they did.
So Bubba took the opportunity to speak to them first, and they walked over to, I think it was Ron, and he goes, listen, we're supposed to do the big run-in. We're totally cool with this, all that sort of stuff. He goes, we got these boards, though, and we were anticipating that we were going to get work boards, which is, I don't want to pull the curtain too far back, but there's the difference between boards and work boards. We were going to get work boards, but these are some real solid-ass 2x4. This is real wood here. So we just want to let you know that we got a little bit of some concerns about this board here. And Ron didn't respond really to the whole thing, and he just looked at Bubba in the face at the end of it, and he goes, you do know how to swing a board, don't you? And the room just got quiet, and Bubba and Devon just looked at each other and said, yes, sir, Ron, we do know exactly how to swing a board. We'll be all right. We'll see you out there, kid. And then he went to the back, and Devon goes, holy shit, what the fuck are we supposed to do? And Bubba made the decision, because you don't want to stiff the guys. It's the Acolytes, right? So Bubba said, listen, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to clean this motherfucker's clock. That's what I'm going to do. I don't know what you're going to do, but because and people will hear that, and they're going to go, wow, that's kind of fucked up. But the realness of it is that Ron's a professional. John Bradshaw is a professional. And they would rather make it look too good than not good at all. So if you come in, especially since it's a debut, and you're supposed to be the extreme guys, right? You're from ECW, and you come in and you powder puff me, it's gonna give the idea to the audience that you don't think I'm tough enough to take a fucking board to the shot. Because the audience is gonna look at the Dudleys and say these guys are fucking extreme. They've been exploding and barbed wire and all this shit. If they're not hitting the Acolytes, that's basically telling the audience, I don't really want to hurt these guys, they're kind of beneath me, that's the kind of vibe they get. So believe me, they'd rather get clocked, but it was smart enough, the veteran experience of Bubba Ray to be like, listen, here's what's going to happen. I don't know what they want me to do, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this board and I'm going to clean his fucking clock. I'm just going to knock this motherfucker into Wednesday, and we'll just worry about what happens after the fact. And it ended up working out really good. They actually did beat the shit out of him pretty good with those boards. But don't worry. The boys, the Acolytes, got their shit back.
Of course.
And that was another part where they knew they were going to hit hard with the boards, and they did. And they knew the receipt was coming. They knew, obviously. That's smart. And the very next week on Raw, it was going to be the Dudley Boys during a backstage interview. And the Acolytes would come in and attack, and there'd be a brawl, like a pull-apart brawl. And that was going to be the segment building up to a tag match. But Bubba knew that the receipt was coming in the brawl. He said, these fuckers are not going to wait until the time is right or a pay-per-view or whatever. It's going to be on site. Okay? Because we took these boards to the back of their fucking heads, and this is going to be real. So the very next week, I'm not speaking as them, but they do the thing. And the fucking Acolytes come in, and if you go to YouTube, he says, if you go to YouTube and you see that thing, those hands are coming in for real. Those hands are coming in for real. So me and Devon only had one choice. We hit them as hard as they would hit us. So when they first started swinging, they were swinging for real. So we swung for real. And we just kept swinging until eventually they started pulling back, and we started pulling back. And when the whole segment was over, we welcomed them. We shook their hands. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Bradshaw. Thank you, Ron. We went to the back. He said we were made men after that. Because we went in and we took the beating, and that was it. They knew it was coming. That's the thing. You just got to take your ass, kick it, and go on, and that's how you pay your dues. That's it. Mm-hmm. All this powder puff shit with people, oh, he's working stiff. All right, bye.
Always about the respect.
I don't have to. You got to have respect. Got to have some respect. Let's talk a little bit about this TLC pay-per-view right before we go ahead and get off the air here. I actually thought this was a pretty solid show. What did you think about the show overall?
Not bad. Not bad at all. I mean,
especially for a pay-per-view we forgot about, right?
Yeah.
It was like we really legitimately did forget that this fucking show was going to be on tonight.
I mean,
and we ended up watching the whole show.
Not a bad show. I mean, the order of the matches worked out kind of fine, and
yeah, we were actually kind of shocked that Dean and Seth were placed exactly where they were. We were like, wow.
Storytelling was great in each match, and very entertaining. Very entertaining show.
Yeah, Buddy Murphy defended his Cruiserweight Championship against Cedric Alexander on the pre-show, as well as Elias defeating Bobby Lashley in a ladder match. I didn't get a chance to see those two matches.
Neither did I.
Because, like I said, I wasn't notified until the main started. Carmella and R-Truth won the Mixed Match Challenge Finals by defeating Alicia Fox and Jinder Mahal. No, I am not going to sit here and talk devious about the Jinder Mahal situation because Jinder did not lose.
Oh.
Alicia Fox lost, so that is not a scratch on Jinder Mahal's record. All right. SmackDown Triple Threat Tag Team match for the titles. The Bar defend against the New Day and the Usos. Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin situation took place. Now, for the record, from what I understand, if you didn't see the pay-per-view by now, Braun didn't do anything in this match at all. There was a bunch of superstars that came out, did a bunch of shit, and he just ended up getting the pin. From what I understand, Braun, because my wife did the same thing. All right, he just won the match. He's going to the Royal Rumble, but he's hurt. He's not technically, currently, from what I understand, injured. But they're playing it safe because he's still healing from the surgery.
Yes.
Could he have gone in there and worked the match? Maybe. But why risk it? Because you've got him coming up the Royal Rumble. Why waste your time with Baron Corbin? So I actually have no problem with how they did that. Natalya and Ruby Riott, tables match, dope. That was a dope match. It's actually on right now on the replay. I never turned it off. But Natalya and Ruby Riott, I don't know if you saw that match as clear as day as I did. I didn't get a chance to see Finn Balor and Drew McIntyre. I was taking my son a bath, but you did.
Great match.
I think. Did you watch that match? It was a great match.
Great match.
All right. Mysterio Orton, I got a chance to see some of that chairs match. Mysterio Orton. Down memory lane. Randy Orton has now feuded with Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy, and who before that? Shinsuke. Okay, so there's just the last two. This whole memory lane thing with Randy Orton. No more new blood for him. They've just been feeding him all the old heads now. He's back to the legend killer.
Yes.
Pretty much. He's now destroying current legends as opposed to before. I'm waiting for him to destroy himself in the end. That's how the story should end. He finally ends the legend of Randy Orton.
That would be interesting.
He has to hit himself with an RKO at some point. Or his son, like an Orton defeating an Orton. Ronda Rousey defending her championship, her Raw Women's Championship, against the face breaker, Nia Jax. And, of course, after that matchup, Becky Lynch, the coward that she is, sneak attacking an already injured and wounded Nia Jax, trying to act like it's payback of some kind. Of course, the crowd ate it up because they don't know any better.
Mm-hmm.
But Becky Lynch, by the way, hit her dead in the mouth and didn't break nothing. So how about that? She had a little Samoan power behind that Irish whiskey. She might have been able to chip some stuff off, but she couldn't. The WWE Championship was on the line as Daniel Bryan, the eco-friendly Daniel Bryan, defends his championship against that dastardly balls of steel phenomenal AJ Styles. I'm surprised he didn't get kicked in the nuts again, considering what was on the line here. Mm-hmm. But that was a dope match, and according to this, that match went for 23 minutes. Almost 24. I'm sorry, but that match felt like it was like 45 minutes longer. Yeah, that shit felt like an Iron Man match. That shit went on for forever. Your cooler match of the evening, the WWE Intercontinental Championship match between Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, that one was 23 minutes. It went equally as long as Daniel and AJ. And I got a lot less out of that than I did the fucking other match. That match was not good. That match was not good. I can do without that match, and to be honest, I could do without this feud. Your thoughts on that matchup?
Definitely a slow burn match. It did pick up a little bit towards the end, but
it was too late by then. I was out of it.
I could have watched that tomorrow night on Raw.
Yeah, I saw fans there were fans in the audience who brought their belts, like championship belts and all this other stuff, and their gear, and they were up for the whole show. For that match, they were like, I made the joke, but I'm pretty sure if you go back, there's some lady writing on her legal pad, like she had like a little notebook. I think she was doing her homework or something. I don't know what the deal was.
I mean, at least we didn't have any volleyball incidents during that match.
Oh, you mean beach balls? Don't get me started on that fucking thing. Don't get me started. I'm so proud that the Evolution event, somebody stepped up to the plate and popped that shit. Because they tried. They were going to try to do it, and that shit got stopped. By a fan, not security. Main event of the evening. Believe it or not, folks, that's right. The ladies are back in the main event. Triple threat tables, ladders, and chairs match, and it was a true main event. That match was awesome. And my boy Polgreen over here called it at the beginning of the show. I will give the man his due. First, he called surprise win Asuka. But then, as the pay-per-view ensued, actually, I think it was right after Ronda Rousey's match, where you made the decision that perhaps Ronda would get involved, costing the two other chicks their opportunity, which led to an Asuka win, and almost verbatim. It was almost as if you had sent the official email out yourself to the booking committee that this is how the finish was going to go. I actually felt like he read the back of the book before he came to my house, because of the way that Hugh described it. But that's exactly what happened. Charlotte and Becky reaching for the championship. Ronda comes out, gets her quote-unquote retribution. And now Asuka stands among us, the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. I can't believe I got a chance to critique a pay-per-view in the midst of all this garbage. This has been fun.
Yes.
Thank you for coming over to my home and getting me out of my funk. I needed a friend.
Hey.
And you answered the call.
I'm here for you, buddy.
Yeah. It's like a bat signal went up, and you came from your luxurious home in Jersey to, where are you at? West Orange over there? Bayonne. You're not that far from the city. You take a path, right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go, see?
And I can't wait to be a guest again on the podcast in the new House of O.
That's right, the new House of O. I actually have a few guests coming up down the pike. You know me, I don't like announcing shit without them being in my house, so I'm going to wait that shit out. But the plans are in place, two of which have just recently won championships. I can't wait to hear from them. And, of course, I keep teasing it, but because this is episode 67. Episode 69 is January 2nd, I believe. And I can't think of a better guest than the guy that I have coming on my show for 69. That might be the most raunchy episode that I ever do. It's going to be Orsini's raunchy mind that night. We're going to get 69 crazy. And there's going to be some interesting topics. So thank you for coming on the show, bro. I love the fact that you came over to my house. You have a long way to go to get home now, and I am so unfortunately apologetic to you. But if it makes you feel any better, I'm not going to bed anytime soon either. I have a math final I have to finish before I go to sleep.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a math final tonight that I have to finish before a certain time. I don't remember what time. And I have another class on Wednesday, and that's the last final. And then it is break time, my friend. And, I don't know if you heard on one of the shows, I'm filming a web series.
Yes, I did
Yes, with this one, with Knucklehead over there.
Oh, man. I can't wait.
A few other pieces of the puzzle, but it's primarily going to be me in this one. You know all that stuff you were saying before about how she likes to combat me? All right, so this one's going to be like a video aspect of it.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, we're in a car, driving all kinds. It's like road travel deal,
Oh,
like the
good
ride
stuff.
along from
Yeah.
the. I didn't think about it when I started doing that, but I got some comparisons to it. It's something like that. I don't know. We're working on it.
Not
we're
bad.
working on it. Yeah, we're gonna do some editing. It's gonna be some nice stuff. Nice stuff. I got some plans down the line, guys. All right, that's the point. Don't think I fell asleep on this shit. Oh, look, Balor and McIntyre. Here we go. I'm going to get my chance. All right, let's get the fuck off the air here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for sharing. And, of course, thank you for enjoying episode 67. Much like a popular television show says all the time, winter is coming. I don't know what show that is because I'm not up on my pop culture, but I will tell you this, winter is indeed coming, and winter gets chilly. You know how you can counteract chilly? You know how you can counteract cold? Clothing. That's right, the more clothing you have on, the better a chance you have of surviving those frigid temperatures. You know what the color of this particular winter is? Gray. You didn't know that? I don't know what it really is either, but I can tell you it's gray because it fits into my agenda. And my agenda is to let you guys know that you can fight those frigid temperatures by wearing the Orsini's Uncensored Mind official t-shirt. It's a sports gray. It's very needed. It's very nice. You guys can get that by going to prowrestlingtees.com/AJOUM.
At my house. Listen to my daddy so. Ocean is mine.